She was the voice of a generation, a soulful powerhouse with a beehive hairstyle, raw lyrics, and a contralto that echoed the greats of jazz and Motown. Amy Winehouse captivated the world with her talent, but her life was cut tragically short at 27. Today, we explore her extraordinary journey, her triumphs, her struggles, and the haunting final moments that left an indelible message about fame, vulnerability, and the human spirit. The life and legacy of Amy Winehouse, a soulful icon gone too soon. Amy Jade Winehouse was born on September 14, 1983, in Southgate, London, into a Jewish family where music was more than entertainment. It was a way of life. Her father, Mitch, a taxi driver with a passion for singing, and her mother, Janice, a pharmacist, constantly played jazz records around the house. Legends like Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Dinah Washington, and Frank Sinatra filled the air. From the moment she could speak, Amy was singing along, mimicking the intricate phrasing and emotional depth of these icons. By age 10, she was already displaying a voice far beyond her years, rich, smoky, and full of soul. At 13, she got her first guitar, and almost immediately she started writing her own songs. She was rebellious, fiercely independent, and unapologetically herself. She attended the prestigious Sylvia Young Theatre School but was expelled at 14 for getting a nose piercing and, as the school put it, not applying herself. That nonconformist streak would become the heartbeat of her artistry. In her mid-teens, she performed with local bands and developed a style that fused jazz, soul, R&B, and pop, with lyrics that cut straight to the bone. Honest, confessional, and often painfully personal. A demo tape passed to a friend eventually reached the right ears. And in 2002, at just 19, Amy signed with Island Records. Her debut album, Frank, dropped in 2003 and instantly made waves in the UK. Named after her idol, Frank Sinatra, the record was a brilliant showcase of witty, sharp songwriting and that unmistakable voice. Songs like Stronger Than Me and Take the Box revealed a young woman who observed relationships with brutal clarity. Critics raved, comparing her to Billie Holiday and Erykah Badu. The album earned nominations for the Mercury Prize and Brit Awards, went platinum, and established Amy as one of the most exciting new voices in British music. But nothing could have prepared the world for what came next. In 2006, Amy released Back to Black, produced by Mark Ronson and Salaam Remi. It was a masterpiece, a modern classic that channeled the sound of 1960s girl groups like the Ronettes and the Shangri-Las while remaining unmistakably Amy. The songs were raw, autobiographies of love, heartbreak, betrayal, and addiction. Rehab, with its defiant hook. They tried to make me go to rehab, but I said no, 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 became an anthem, ironically reflecting her real-life battles. Tracks like You Know I'm No Good, Back to Black, Love is a Losing Game, and Tears Dry on Their Own were devastatingly beautiful, blending retro production with lyrics that felt like open wounds. Back to Black exploded globally. It debuted at #1 in the UK and made history in the US by entering the Billboard 200 at number 7, the highest debut ever for a British female artist at that time. It went on to sell over 20 million copies worldwide. At the 2008 Grammy Awards, Amy won 5 trophies, including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best New Artist, and Best Pop Vocal Album, tying the record for most Grammys won by a female artist in a single night. Unable to attend in person due to visa issues tied to her substance use, she performed via satellite from London, beaming with joy and disbelief as she accepted her awards. Her influence was immediate and profound. Artists like Adele, Lana Del Rey, Sam Smith, and Duffy all cited Amy as a direct inspiration for embracing raw authenticity over polished perfection. Her fashion sense, winged eyeliner, ballet flats, tattoos, and that towering beehive became iconic, blending vintage glamour with gritty street style. She revived interest in retro, soul, and proved that real emotion could still dominate the charts in an era of manufactured pop. Yet behind the triumph was a life spiraling into chaos. Amy's relationship with Blake Fielder Civil, whom she married in 2007, was passionate but deeply destructive. It was Blake who introduced her to harder drugs, including heroin and crack cocaine. Much of Back to Black was written about their toxic love affair. Their marriage became tabloid fodder, arrests, fights, separations, and reunions. Amy battled bulimia since her teenage years, a disorder her brother later said severely weakened her body over time. Heavy smoking led to early signs of emphysema. Mental health struggles, including depression and self-harm, compounded everything. She entered rehab multiple times, but sobriety proved elusive. The world watched as performances became erratic. Tours were canceled, and paparazzi documented every stumble. The media frenzy was relentless, turning her pain into entertainment. By 2008, she had managed to kick harder drugs, but alcohol became her primary vice. There were periods of clarity and creativity. She recorded the duet, Body and Soul, with her idol, Tony Bennett, a beautiful track released after her death, but they were often followed by devastating binges. In 2011, Amy attempted a comeback tour. The opening show in Belgrade was disastrous, visibly intoxicated. She could barely stand or sing. The rest of the tour was canceled, and she retreated to her Camden home. Friends and family later said that in those final months, she seemed in better spirits. She was clean from drugs, working on new music, and excited about the future. She had been sober from alcohol for weeks and was reportedly planning her third album. On the evening of July 22, 2011, her doctor, Christina Romete, visited for a routine check. Amy admitted she had relapsed and started drinking again after a period of abstinence. When the doctor reminded her of the serious health risks possible, respiratory failure, seizures, organ damage, Amy looked at her and said quietly, "I don't want to die." Those 4 words, revealed later in the inquest, were heartbreaking. They showed she was fully aware of the danger. That part of her desperately wanted to live, but she felt trapped in a cycle she couldn't fully escape. That same night, around 11:30 p.m., she spoke on the phone with her bandmate and musical director, Dale Davis. In good spirits, she told him she'd been watching old performances of herself on YouTube and said, "Dale, I've just been watching myself on YouTube and I can sing. Can I?" He reassured her that she was one of the greatest. It was a moment of rare self-affirmation, a reminder of her extraordinary gift even as doubt crept in. Her bodyguard, Andrew Morris, who had become like family to her, checked on her several times that night. In their final conversation, Amy expressed deep regret about the cost of fame. She said, "If I could, I would give it all back just to walk down the street with no hassle." That statement captured everything she wanted: the world to understand, the crushing weight of constant scrutiny, the loss of privacy, the isolation that fame brings. She wasn't ungrateful for her success, but she longed for the simple freedom most of us take for granted. The next afternoon, July 23, 2011, Andrew found her unresponsive in bed. She had stayed up late watching TV and listening to music. Paramedics arrived but could do nothing. She was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 empty vodka bottles, 2 large, 1 small, were found in her room. The initial inquest was inconclusive, but a second inquest in 2013 confirmed the cause: accidental alcohol poisoning. Her blood alcohol level was 416 mg per deciliter, more than 5 times the legal driving limit, and in the range considered potentially fatal. After weeks of abstinence, her tolerance had dropped dramatically, and the sudden binge overwhelmed her system, causing respiratory depression and death. No illegal drugs were present. The coroner ruled it death by misadventure. Amy joined the tragic 27 Club. Icons like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, and Kurt Cobain, all lost at the same age. Fans gathered outside her Camden home, leaving flowers, cigarettes, and bottles of vodka in tribute. The world mourned not just a singer, but a once-in-a-generation talent whose honesty touched millions. Her final words and reflections left a profound message. "I don't want to die" was a raw admission of vulnerability, a reminder that even those who seem strongest can be fighting silent battles. Her regret over fame speaks to every celebrity who feels trapped by their own success, and to all of us about the human cost of relentless public judgment. She wanted us to see the person behind the persona, to treat struggling souls with compassion rather than spectacle. Her family established the EMY WINEHOUSE Foundation to help young people facing addiction and health challenges. Documentaries, most notably the 2015 Oscar-winning Amy and the 2024 biopic Back to Black, have kept her story alive, ensuring future generations understand both her genius and her humanity. Ultimately, Amy Winehouse's legacy isn't defined by her tragic end, but by the fearless way she lived and created. She taught us to embrace our imperfections, to speak our truths without filter, to value authenticity over perfection. Her voice, powerful, broken, beautiful, continues to resonate, reminding us that true art comes from the deepest parts of the human experience. She didn't want to die, and through her music, she never will.